So let's add an event handler. First the increment. This is a void function. First, let's just remove this part here, because this is a lambda inline event handler. Let's just move it. So this is the decrement, this is the increment. Let's move this into this part. The count, of course, is at this dot count, and instead of calling, we can increment this dot increment. That's enough. What is important to notice, if you are familiar with this event handling in JavaScript, functions of this form, this class function, should be bound to the this, but this is done automatically. So when you use lit HTML, you don't have to bound it, because this is automatically done by the lit HTML. When lit HTML parses this text, it finds this syntax as a event handling syntax, and then the function defined here, it will bound to the this context, so therefore it's very convenient. Right, and then just send a message that this dot dispatch event, and let's dispatch a custom event, which is normal, new custom event, and the custom event has a string increment, and then for the payload, let's just use this detail and this dot count. Yes, so this is the way. Just simply create again here, when the increment button is clicked, this click event handler, this increment, this is the click event handler, performs the updates of the counter, the internal state, and then it dispatches an event to any listener who is interested in this very important situation that the counter has been incremented. Right, so that's all. Let's just save it for now. Yes, of course, this has just been Ctrl+Shift+I. Do we have any errors? No, we don't have any errors. So definitely it should work. If we are interested, of course, we can enter here a console log, because this is a tutorial video. Increment button clicked. Here you go. So increment button clicked. That is, we have here, but of course we don't have a dispatch listener, I mean event listener. And this is our component, and we are dispatching from this level, so that's why this dispatch event is at this level. Therefore we should be able to define a event listener somewhere here. The syntax as the event listener, as you have noticed here, is something, this at. let's just enter at, and here you go, our favorite tool. Let me just show again. Lit plugin jumps in immediately and then detects that we have, and actually this is officially documented in this here. Just enter for Control F and then dispatch. Here you go. There is an option that no unknown events, and then what it says that you can opt in to check unknown event names using JIX, or the statement this dispatch new custom event will make an event name available. So very handy. Therefore increment, and for handler we have to use, of course, this template expression or interpolating expression in some other languages, which is used here. And then let's do a inline handler and detail. Alert. Let's make an alert. Alert. And incremented. Let's do a fancy thing. Let's use just backtick here too. Incremented to, and then use detail. And of course it is complaining. Let's see what it is complaining about. Missing return type, of course, because my void. Here you go. That's more than enough for now. Let's check out if it works fine. Let me just save it. Okay, let's click the increment. Bang, incremented to 6. Bang, incremented to 7. So that's that easy. So far so good. Let's have the next step is to move all of these class into a separate module. To do that, create a my counter and .ts and copy everything, and then I will remove the things that I not needed. So we don't need this. Okay, we don't need these. It says that we don't need the render. Okay, excellent. And then go to the main, and of course I can save it because there is no reference, it is not reloaded at the point. Here is just let me just comment this out. I commented this out, and we don't need immediately these. Of course, we don't need this entire decorator thing. Cool, so far so good. And of course, the whole thing disappeared. Why is that? The my counter is here, but when you have a component, nothing actually executes this declare part. So this declare part is terribly important to be executed, and the easiest way to get it executed is just simply import this module as is dot slash my counter, and voila, we have them too, and increment, and it still works great. We don't have decrement, so therefore that's gonna be the next step, is implement our decrement function, which could be of course done from within here too. We don't have to create a separate decrement function, so let's do it that way. I'm pretty sure this is terribly ugly style. And the counter is commented, and then let me just simply copy this from here. And of course this is decrement. So far so good, no compilation error. And then let's just create a event handler for it. Let's do it first, maybe an easy event handler here, a function on counter inc dec. You can do a million ways. Let me do this, just do e like event, and the type is custom event void, and just window dot alert or even better, let's just counter event. Yes, even better. And then the name is on counter event, and just use another syntax, e dot detail. Yeah. Okay, this is one thing, and then let me just copy this name and come here and start And I have here also this decrement. And then here an on count event for the decrement. Control S. Let's see. Here you go. Counter event for counter event 3. Increment 2. So that's how it works. And basically that is it. Of course we could spend another hours to fine-tune all this. I mean, for example, these names should be documented. One of the possibilities to document this, in case your component is not recognized, your events are not recognized because of some reason, there is a way which is nicely documented here, not here, but here, that it was mentioned that using the fires JS doc, what it means, how you can use it here. This is a possibility. This is the JS doc syntax, and then fires, and the fire syntax is the class name counter, and then the dash is increment increment and decrement. This is the standard way of documenting, and also here you can document. So when you are creating a documentation with JSDoc, or actually here type doc, then event is the location from where this event is fired. So counter, here you go, immediately it was recognized. It's very smart. And this is for the increment event. And then hopefully dispatch event. I'm not 100% sure if this is the correct way to document it, but then this might work. Decrement. Yes, because this is no, I wouldn't do that because it doesn't know what the hell is this. Okay, let's done just let's just add this maybe even better to add it here. So that is within the render event increment and decrement. And again, when we work here, it recognizes that this is the decrement. So this is how you can define that your element is documenting. So how your element component fires these events, and these are just the location where the actual event is coming from for documentation purposes. And the other end is where you want to document is that this is your listener. I don't need this parameter. Listens and exactly counter, and you can see that this is the listener could listen to both of the events. Both of the events, and of course here we can get rid of this long passage. That is to on count event. So this way the same listener listens to both the decrement and increment event. Check out if it works. Increments, yes. Counter event 6 and counter event 5. So friends, that was all. So take care. And what I wanted to say, that with this iteration, this last episode, I can say that this lit technology is absolutely ready for business application development, because it both supports reactive programming, lit elements with this HTML. Lit HTML is absolutely fantastic reactive for reactive programming, and also for imperative programming, or the combination of the two. So I think that's really amazing. And what is interesting, and I have spent quite a lot of time with React and also Angular, but first I started with React a number of years ago. It was 16, the first version, which I started working about 3 years ago. And at that time, that was really a decent option. Because of a number of reasons. But today what we have here is a very simple technology. I've seen this Vitejs provides lightning fast, very easy to understand. You understand every bit what's happening here. It doesn't even have a configuration option, and it's so clean, a project like that. And then with lit HTML, which is simply package lit, it's lightning fast, and you have reactive programming as well as the traditional object-oriented model view control L or model view model style of programming, both available. And with the introduction of these custom elements, these custom elements are native components in the browser, as seen here. And all of the property handling is amazing, a property and attribute handling. And now I've just demonstrated how easy is the event handling. And of course you do not have to use this event machinery. You can invent your own event machinery if you prefer. I have so what can I say? Just go for it. Just go for it. So yes, my final conclusion, I really don't have any preference to any technology. Still love React. I loved Angular when I've seen the millions option. Let me show you what convinced me absolutely that Angular is a brilliant tool too. Is that Angular output. So who the guys who invented this Angular input and this output, it's absolutely fantastic, and all its service models. So Angular also provides a full feature set for enterprise level quality application development. But today, when we have lit and lit HTML and lit element, honestly, I don't think we don't need any of these proprietary tools, because all what you have seen here absolutely standard out of the browser. No heavy layers here, no learning curve actually. Everything is so clean and dispatch event. So this is just programming the browser with a decent light, that's the way the name is correct, toolset. Of course, I prefer TypeScript, because TypeScript gives you, in my opinion, business application level quality requires static type checking. JavaScript is okay for fancy, entertaining application, but for real stuff, business applications, you must do everything possible to avoid any errors and problems and issues. And the number one step is just to use a compiled language, a strictly typed checking language, and this is TypeScript. So TypeScript combined with the easiness and elegance of the lit technology toolset, and all just working components, I mean tools or machinery out of the browser, out of the box. That's fantastic, and that's the whole project. And you can, as you said, you can enter and create modules. Just use TypeScript for business application. Remember that all these component models are just for the user interface. You don't have to use them. And then here in the user interface, you have everything. Okay, thanks and have fun.